Welcome to the Angel Empowerment Show, from I Can't to I Can, with your host, Cindy Smith, and co-hosts. In this show, airing every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, gain more insight and practical, intuitive tools to bring more clarity and purpose into your daily life. You can listen or be involved in live professional angel card readings on transformationtalkradio.com so you can heal, thrive, and grow in your life. And you'll experience it all with 4 of the best in the field. The Angel Empowerment Show starts now.
Everyone, wow, it's December 19th. It snuck up on us for sure. Sam and I are really excited to share the topic tonight, resolutions versus intentions, like how to create success with the intentions that we move forward with this. And it, as Sam will refer to as we get going, why do we do it at the beginning of the year? And I think part of it is, for me, it's always felt like it's new energy. It's new start. And I love to start my year off with something new. So everyone, how it works as usual, Sam and I will be sharing the topic tonight for the first 30 minutes. And then you can call in, or on any of the social media platforms with Facebook, YouTube, however you're watching us, you type into the chat your name and location, and we will pull an angel card reading, a card for you. And so the number is 1-800-930-2819. And that you can just dial in, and Jessica will get you connected with Sam and I direct, and you can ask us questions and we will respond. So, and I just got to add this, anybody that's listening, if you join us live by doing the chat or phoning in, Jessica enters your name into a draw, and Sam and I are giving 30-minute angel card reading sessions for you after the show. Well, not tonight, but when we book with you. Okay? So I got all that. We got that out of the way, Sam. All right.
Yes, I love this subject. I mean, for years and years and years, Cindy, exactly like everybody else, basically, New Year, I would write down what all my New Year's resolutions were. And, some of them were so big and huge. I was setting myself up for failure. I didn't realize that at the time. But by the end of January and beginning of February, I was like, I failed. I've eaten too much. I've drunk too much. I've done this too much. I've done that too much. I haven't done this. It would just be, just setting myself up for failure. So when I first did my AEP, I started to think about resolutions in a different way. I started to think about setting intention and actually using my angel team to help me to not only set that intention, but to manifest. And suddenly that whole energy, which I felt about resolutions that felt for me so heavy and sticky and tacky, it suddenly became so much more vibrant, so much more achievable. And I felt like I had somebody helping me. I wasn't on my own, conquering the world. So, yeah.
No, and that's a great, a great way to put it, Sam, because it is remembering. So when we refer to getting assistance and guidance from our angel team, the first and foremost, and we're like a broken record with this, we're saying it over and over and over again, the first thing is to ask. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because in the last few days I've been doing some angel card reading sessions, and I'm going to find it. Here it is. There's a card that keeps coming up for people, and it's very interesting because it's the time of the year, but the crystal clear intention card, I know most of you are listening, but it's called crystal clear intentions, right? And this card keeps coming up for clients in the last few days. And it's Archangel Michael. So I'm just going to read the card to everybody because this is what we're talking about, okay? Be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. And so what that means is when the angels are asking us to be clear, we set the intention, and we're talking about, you set it as if it's already happening, and you also set it that it's happening in the future. So it's like a combination of both. It's okay to put a time frame, but just as Sam said, if you put a time frame, make sure you're realistic, right? Because if we're setting clear intentions and we're asking your angels to help you, then it's great to be clear because it makes it easier for them to assist. But it's the reality of what is realistic for us. And that's where I think, like, just like Sam said, I think that's where we get ourselves caught up, is because we set these massive goals and we're asking the angels, Archangel Michael, okay, I have a clear intent. I know exactly what I would like to achieve by July 1st, 2023. Then what you do, though, is you really sit with it and reflect with it and ask for guidance. Is this realistic? So when you think realistic, Sam, what comes up for you? Like, give some, what does realistic mean?
Well, to me, I think realistic is breaking things down into achievable bite-sized chunks. So even if you have, a big goal that you're wanting. So for example, the podcast, right? We set the intention that we were going to have a podcast go live in 2022. And so we didn't just say, okay, boom, it's going to be done by this date. We actually set ourselves realistic goals that we would meet on this day, we would discuss this, we would have this in place, and then we built it. So building, and then each time you get to that one point, it's an achievement. You feel that energy and that excitement, and it re-energizes you to move on to the next piece. So when you look at anything, at the moment, all right, my son is moving home. And we have a 4th bedroom, which is full of boxes. It's full. You can just about open the door, and then you have to close it quickly again because it's just too much to take in at one look. It's just I have to clear it all out. So instead of saying, okay, I'm going to get it clear by this day, which is very much my personality, get it done. If it's going to be done, you've got to do it well. Boom. I've set myself a goal, and it's realistic that this is the date that we're going to aim for. And I've got things in place and days off and time blocked off in my schedule to make sure that I can do what I need to do. And then Glenn, God love him, my husband, he doesn't understand why I need to sort out this cupboard here to make space for something from this cupboard to go in, to make space for something from the room to go in, so that I've got somewhere to put everything. So I've made myself little goals. That helped?
Yep, that's realistic. And so, great example. And when you were talking about, setting the intention for the podcast, and we actually set a date to go live twice. And Jessica, our producer, will remember this because things kept happening in our world. I was in Ireland, things were happening that we weren't getting all of the stuff together in time. And we postponed the launch twice. Now, that is actually still setting intention. The difference is even though we changed the date, we followed through. Right? Yeah. Some people, if the date gets changed or everything isn't in order, they put up their hands and say, I did it again. I'm done. And they give up, and then they carry on. So I love that you brought up the Angel Empowerment Podcast show, because we changed the date twice, but yet we still had the intention. We still followed through with the steps that needed to happen. And we launched July 11th was our very first podcast. So everybody that's listening, if this is your first time listening or you've been following us, we are in gratitude, because we set intention. We were crystal clear. We might have got our date a little off, which was perfectly fine, because we're flexible. And if there's anything I have learned, well, this is a big one for me, is when we are asking the angels to assist us in any form, flexibility is the key. If you have to control every parameter of your intention and every parameter of the goal and how it all lays out, I could just say it'll be more difficult. Right, Sam? Because flexibility with the angels is right up there, and it's one of my huge lessons. How are you these days? Well, like you said, you've made the goals for even your son moving home, but when you think flexibility angels, what comes to mind for you?
What comes to mind for me is how this personality was really borderline OCD.
Well, there you go.
So that's what comes up to me.
Being honest.
And then it's just the realization how much I have changed. But I wonder how much of that was the expectation of my mother. I was very much had to do it this way, had to do it. I was very rigid. And even now, Glenn will sometimes say that I'm very black and white about things, but I really feel that since becoming an angel empowerment practitioner, I've learned that the real me, the authentic me, not the mum, the me that my mum wanted me to be, is actually quite flexible, and I've honed in on that and adapted that and developed it for certain.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so you've brought it up, and I wanted to talk about this tonight anyways. You've created a program and work with people one-on-one that is to do with mother-daughter relationships, and really taking a look at that. And I highly recommend people checking what Sam does. But can you talk to just a little bit about the core of mother-daughter relationship?
Yeah. So whether you have an amazing relationship with your mother, a difficult relationship with your mother, or a toxic relationship, that relationship is the most important relationship of your life. It really lays down the foundation and the blueprint for you. And like I mentioned, I've been through this myself. I did a lot of learning, had to find out a lot about myself and understand my relationship with my mother before I could actually move forward. It took me years. And what I've realized is that it doesn't have to take you years. You can spend years and years of reading the books, going to the counselors, doing all the coaching, psychotherapy, everything. If you don't address the relationship that you have with your mother, you're missing the foundational core piece. The rest can be built upon, but you've got to have that foundation. And that's what I do. I cut straight to the chase.
Awesome. So thinking of something new and some really positive change is doing that healing and understanding your mother-daughter relationship, right? I mean, my mother is with me and I have a daughter. So, it's interesting when we think of our mother-daughter relationship, for sure. So how do they find you on the web?
So website is sambellinspired.com, and my social media handle is @sambellinspired.
Okay. So thank you. I wanted to bring that up.
Thank you.
And so you brought it up for me. So
I did.
Thank you, angels. So let's back to the setting clear intentions. And as we say, and there's another thing that both of us are really good at acknowledging, I believe, because of the work that you and I have both done, both personally and assisting all the clients, but is understanding that when we think of 2022, right? When we think of 2022, it's focusing on all of the amazing experiences happened for us in 2022. And we set some clear intentions of things that we want to continue to grow in 2023 versus what we might think as failures.
Yeah.
Because when we drop into that energy, we're actually projecting the possibility of failure in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that when the angels come in to assist us and clear, it's all about getting rid of what no longer serves us in the now so we can create the future. So share a little bit about that also, Sam, because I know that is a key for us when we work with clients. The angels are all about healing in the now so that we can create the future we want.
Absolutely. I mean, how many times, you only have to go onto social media, for instance, and it's, I can't wait to see the back of 2022, out with the old and in with the new, and, that whole big celebration. Well, what I have really honed in on over the last few years is really looking back. I think this is more familiar for people nowadays, but looking back with gratitude for 2022. At the end of the day, every single week, month, year that we're alive is a blessing. And my slogan in my business for my business is to stop existing, start living. All right. But we tend to exist. And part of that is we look at being on a linear trajectory. We're going from A to B. And, sometimes we fast forward through the pieces in the middle and we don't really live in the now. We don't really appreciate what we've actually achieved and what we have gratitude for. I mean, maybe those big goals that you set, you didn't achieve them because maybe they weren't realistic and maybe the timing isn't right. And maybe that is in the continuum of time. It is happening to be in 2023 because we've got a Gregorian calendar that tells us that, we end in December and we start in January. And this is why I love cyclical living. And I look at my goals and my intentions in a very similar way, if that makes sense.
Awesome. Yes, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if, I love the whole sitting and really reflecting on all the gratitude from 2022, because that really does increase our vibration to create with ease for 2023. So it's like, if we were to give our listeners steps, so think of it like this. If you want to sit down and do some reflection with yourself and your angels, because remember, so you sit down with a piece of paper, a computer, tablet, whatever you want, and invite Archangel Michael. I'd highly recommend invite Archangel Michael because he's really all about life purpose, journey, creating, manifesting, and your guardian angel team. And first ask to highlight the gratitude. So what'll happen is when you ask the angels to highlight the gratitude, you're going to have memories come up that are positive. Write them down. You're going to automatically go to that love center in your heart, and you're going to remember some things that really brought you joy in 2022. But then ask the angels to also highlight, because you'll be very interested to see what comes up. Then when you're in that really flow love energy of gratitude, have another piece of paper that's manifesting for 2023 and ask Michael, your guardian angels. You may already have some really clear intentions of things you would like to manifest in 2023, but ask the angels to also assist and set some realistic goals. That is where, this is how you will manifest with the team. And pay attention to all of your senses. So if you were to, I'll give an example. One of my goals is by July 1st, and I'm being very realistic. So, you know, people, we tend to say, I'd like to be healthier, and I'm setting certain goals, but I'm being very realistic of what the goals that will be in place by July, that I'm following through July 31st or 1st. Then I asked Michael, am I on track? And then I pay attention. What do I see? What do I feel? What do I hear? What I know with each goal that I have set for the next basically 5.5 months. They will tell you and they will guide you. Are you on right? All right. Does this feel right? Have you given yourself enough time? Have you overdone it? You know, like really allow the angels to come in and guide you. That's how I'm doing it this year. And I just recently did for the very first time, and I've got another one coming up. And Sam actually won it because I pulled her name out of the Empowerment of Light membership on Saturday. So she's just hearing about this for the first time. So so it's called Motivation for Change Workshop, but it's setting the intentions. But what I was really guided to do is I broke it up into 2 evenings, and people do a lot of clearing, because remember how I said the angels are all about clearing so we can create. So there's certain ways that the angels really guide. I ask some questions to really bring up the stuff that needs to let go. Then we did some SMART goals for the next 6 up until I think June 15th, because I'm going to do a follow-up with them 6 months later. And we did some SMART goals and actually cleared past stuff on the timeline. So you know how you talk about the linear timeline, Sam? I actually guide people to clear stuff on their timeline in this lifetime of when they've attempted to do a similar goal and they called it a failure. We clear that. Then we actually set realistic dates on their future timeline. And Michael infuses it.
Beautiful. So, and when is that?
Yeah.
The audience as well as me.
So it's not up my website yet because I just had to create another one because I just finished one and was guided that I needed to do that one. So the next one is January 4th and January 11th. It's a Wednesday evening. It's at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for an hour and a half each night. Okay. And so it will be up on my website by the end of this week before Christmas, and people will see all the posts that I'll be posting. New workshop is up. So, but it's Motivation for Change. And the cost is $88. It isn't like it's you know, I've done it, made it realistically for finances this time of year. And I actually loved witnessing what the workshop participants went through, and then I created and did it for myself also. Why? I mean,
and I'm thinking that maybe you'll be including in there about language.
Yes, a little bit of language. Absolutely, you know me. And because it's all about what we desire and have versus the don'ts and the nots and I want. Okay, so it's desire, I have, nothing to do with away from energy, because away from energy is like, okay, I experienced that, I've got to get away from that energy. We're towards our future. We're creating in the now and creating the future towards. You're gonna love it, Sam. You won.
I will.
So let's just review, because I know we're probably getting to break here soon. Let's one of the steps that I suggest, and Sam, you can add in any steps, do a gratitude list. Ask Michael and your guardian angel team to bring to the forefront the gratitude from 2022 of experiences, events, goals that you created, whatever was joy-filled gratitude. Then ask, after you're in that love, in that gratitude energy, ask to create and understand the certain intentions with clarity and goals to place with realistic goals and reality, and really use your intuitive senses with the angels to make sure you're on track. So what do you think?
Well, as you're saying that there, I'm thinking about, I mean, obviously I got married in February. And so that is one of my moments of joy. I want that to continue. I'm acknowledging how wonderful it was, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm going to ask the angels to assist me in ensuring that that continues and continues to grow.
Beautiful.
Doesn't necessarily need to be something new, you know. It can be, and that's a beautiful position to be in, to be able to say, I want to just continue the momentum, you know, of my previous year. Boom.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect example. So setting clear intentions and asking the angels for guidance and following through, versus the focusing on the whole chaos behind you. Okay. It's different when I do the workshop, because it's okay to have that stuff come up, because the angels are going to clear it right there and then during the workshop. Right. So we are going for break. Anybody listening, please call in the 1-800-930-2819. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to pull angel cards. Anybody on social media, please put in the chat. We are looking forward to having some conversations. And so we will be right back. And thank you from Sam Bell and Cindy Smith on the Angel Empowerment podcast show.
Is it time you finally did that thing you've always wanted to do, or did it way better, or fixed that problem you've been having for ages? It is time to build something incredible with Sam Bell as your coach, educator, and healer. You've heard her on the Angel Empowerment Show, and she is committed to helping you to stop existing and start living. Book coaching, healing, or angel card sessions at sambellinspired.com. We all want confident and happy kids. Nola Peacock, co-host on the Angel Empowerment Show, works with families, coaching parents and kids to find the strategies and techniques that really work, helping your child develop the crucial personal skills that they need to become confident, resilient, and successful young adults. Book a coaching session today at nola-peacock.com. That's Nola, NOLA-peacock.com. Are you tired of struggling and feeling overwhelmed or being indecisive about your future? Angel Guidance can assist. Contact Cindy Smith, your Angel Empowerment Practitioner, for an angel card reading and more. How would you like to gain more clarity, energy, and a new perspective for your upcoming future? Find out more and book a session at cindysmithaep.com. That's cindysmithaep.com.
Woohoo, we're back. People, I know I haven't been really starting my podcast show with the woohoo, but lately anybody that knows me for the years as teaching all the AEPs, I've always woohoo, woohoo. It's kind of my signature little sign. So I feel like it's more me if I start it by woohoo. So we are back, and we are looking forward to pulling some cards for people. So Amy from Kamloops. Sam, I'll let you pull a card for Amy.
Okay, well, I'm using Cindy's relationship deck, and I was just saying in the break, this deck is just on fire at the moment. It is, you see, look, there you go, just fell out. All right. I love the angels. I really do. The card that I've got for you is thoughts create outcomes. So Amy and everybody else listening, this is how the angels work. Very often they will give us confirmation, and really they're saying, we've been speaking about this, and this is something that we all need to be aware of. This is actually Archangel Gabriel, which is fitting because he was the first angel I'd ever heard of, because he was the angel at Christmas, right? With the messenger. He says, my child, a gentle reminder that all thoughts are created within you and sent out to be heard in universal vibration. We, the divine, ask you to be more aware of all you are creating through thoughts and thought patterns. So very much a continuation. Actually, I think it was our last show together, Cindy, we were actually talking about, perception is projection. I can't say my words, but this is exactly what they're saying. And the crystal, Amy, if you are guided to use a crystal, it's one of my very favorites. It's the blue lace agate, and a beautiful message here. I aid in bringing awareness when your thoughts are out of balance with your highest good. I help to gently shift your dialogue from negative to positive and remind you to be kind to yourself. So definitely messages there of self-care, being kind to yourself, being gentle with yourself, but also keeping thoughts in balance. We very often will be thinking about our physical health, and work life and home life and keeping everything in balance. Do we ever actually think about keeping our thoughts in balance? So just calling us out there to say, what we're thinking, keep those thoughts balanced. And that really fits in with what Cindy and I have just been speaking about having realistic intentions as the new year is around the corner. So keep your thoughts balanced.
Yeah, beautiful message for everybody.
Beautiful.
For everybody listening around, thoughts create outcome. And Amy, it's just that awareness piece. I get just to add a little bit of really asking Michael to be aware of your thoughts, so that if they're out of alignment with your balance, out of alignment of what you're asking to create, then you can easily cancel, clear, delete. Right? I always say to people, if you catch yourself having that negative thought, or you're focusing on something negative, just say, cancel, clear, delete. Get it out of my energy, get it out of my thoughts, and then just recreate the positive. So great card, Sam, to start us off. And Lizeth, I hope I'm saying your name, because that's such a beautifully unique name. Lizeth, I am pulling a card for you, and I'm using the Inspire Change and Healing deck. And you have, I'm actually going to give you two cards, because I got to pull in there. So I'm going to give you two cards. Accept your personal value is the first card, and the other one is stop worry. And so the accept your personal value card, that was the strongest one. Your angels are reminding you that your personal power, your inner strength is just as important and equal to others around you. Really think equality. For some reason, they're coming through with equality. And I personally know you're on a new path right now, without me saying, but that I know you're on a new path. And so keep reminding yourself of your truth, of your ability, and the action. I'm going to read the action from the card. I ask for assistance from Archangel Raguel and Calcite by saying, I am strong, confident, smart, loved, capable, accomplished, and gifted to be all I choose to be. Wow.
Beautiful.
I mean, isn't that beautiful for everybody? But I'm glad I read that out. And I accept their guidance to let go of old patterns and create new beliefs. So it's Archangel Raguel, and any type of calcite crystal will help, because there's different colors. but I'm going to read everybody. I'm going to read this again. I am strong, confident, smart, loved, capable, accomplished, and gifted to be all I choose to be. Yeah, beautiful. And then quickly, the stop worry. Really say, be in the now. Worry is either about past or you're far into the future or into the future. You're not, when worry comes up, there's no being in the now. And the angels always guide us to be in the now, because that's really where you're going to be the most grounded, most centered, and be able to have that inner peace and control in the now. So thank you for reaching out. Anything quickly you want to add, Sam?
No, just only as you were speaking there, many of us have that that self-sabotage, you know, the internal saboteur. And it comes up in the work that I do time and time again. I just want to say how, when I hear that, those affirmations, how difficult sometimes it can be to actually say those words to yourself and really believe it. I mean, one of the biggest things I ever do was, I love you. And I had it on a Post-it note in my bathroom mirror. And when I was cleaning my teeth, I would say, I love you. I love you. And it took me months before I could actually look at myself in the eyes and say those words. You know, you are strong. You are accomplished. You know, it really, and it's just so powerful. But I just wanted to acknowledge, I understand that that can be very difficult for many, many out there, but it works.
It does.
It
Awesome.
does.
Thank you. And now could you pull a card for Michelle?
I can indeed. Whoa, there you go. Being a master communicator. We've mentioned Gabriel, and suddenly, you know, there's all these communication messages coming up here. And sure enough, this is Archangel Gabriel's message. So, my child, allow communication in all forms of love. So again, we've said earlier about really, you know, communicating from our heart space, not from our head space. All right. So learning to be able to say what you're feeling with love and come from that place of love and gratitude. Communicate with positive intention through thoughts, spoken word, body language, and touch. So really looking at all of the different ways that we communicate and showing them cohesively as being loving thoughts, loving intentions, loving words, loving touches. You are the master and have choices on how to communicate and receive communication from others. And that's a really important piece again, and a message for all of us. You know, appreciating another's intention is from a heart space, instead of looking at it coming from a place other than that, you know, and taking things the wrong way. I was an expert at that in my early years. So acknowledge the positive intent and let go of negative intent. So expecting good from people, expecting good words from people, expecting that kindness, expecting love. And when you're actually expecting to receive that, it's amazing how much you reciprocate it. And again, it's very much that setting of intention, and what you're projecting is what you'll receive. And again, it's the blue lace agate. That crystal is coming up again, an ability to communicate truth in a gentle, kind, and loving way with self and others. Blue lace agate, love that.
Yes.
So there you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle, for reaching out. I'm going to pull a card now from Susan from Nashville.
Whoa. Somewhere I always wanted to go, Grand Ole Opry.
So, Susan, the card that came up for you is the stop overwhelm. You know, and it could be because it's the time of year, but I'm getting, and just as we said prior, that I pulled the card about stop worry, stop overwhelm kind of has a similar theme to it. It really means to be in the now vibration. Okay, so I'm going to read the message from Archangel Michael. My child, you have control of this moment in your now. Overwhelm is an experience outside of now, which causes a sense of out of control. Ask to change the experience, change your state of being, and become aware of now. So again, I hear from your angels and from Archangel Michael, Susan, that probably 65 to 75% of the time you are good at being grounded in the now. And right now it could be you're just feeling a little bit overwhelmed in it. I'm just hearing, get back to the basics. Get back to the basics of how you know to take care of yourself, to be in that now vibration and stop overwhelmed, so that you remember what you do have control of. Because we're in that overwhelmed state, we forget that the only thing we do have control of is right now, this moment. So as you're even listening to me, this is the only thing you have control of. So they're wanting to acknowledge that most of the time you're really good at getting rid of overwhelm or the sense of out of control, but for some reason right now this card has come up for you to assist you. Anything, and the affirmation is I am in the now, and the crystal is lepidolite. Okay, anything you want to add to that, Sam?
No, just again about that being in the now.
Yeah, so two cards that are around now, it could be just because of the time we're in, and you got communication, two cards to do with communication. So thank you very much, Susan, for reaching out. We love from hearing from our friends in the United States. So Audrey from Calgary, she has a question to both you and I, Sam. I am super indecisive person. I know what I don't want when it's happening, but I usually don't know what I want for my future. Any advice on that? So let's talk about, so this comes down to being that clear set intentions for future, and how do the angels assist that? I'm going to pull a card, and what do you get automatically for Susan, Sam?
So I'm just looking at that, you know what you don't want. Well, if you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And you're saying that that's when it's happening. So a lot of the way that I work is I really use all of my senses, especially my third eye, to visualize myself in what I am wanting to manifest. What you don't want is usually the opposite, right? So start thinking about, try thinking more positively, but also really closing your eyes and imagining something that is happening. Imagine the feelings. And I love working with the chakras and feelings. Sometimes it'll be a piece of music that I'll listen to, and that is giving me peace. Where do I feel that peace? I feel it in my solar plexus, and really knowing those feelings, those what I call root feelings, and getting to know them and getting to know how they feel in your body, and then imagining them.
And what I'm also hearing from Archangel Michael, that indecisiveness, the uncertainty of the future, and it's part of your own inner self-doubt. And it's because perhaps you think of things that have happened in the past that didn't work out, or I'm going to just say it as it is, that you're beating yourself up too much, Audrey.
Yeah.
And then what happens then is that you stop to trust in your intuitive self, that knowing, the understanding and feeling and using your senses that you are making the right decision. So the indecisiveness is getting back to trust. Trust you, trust your guidance. Really pay attention. I get to your gut. They're telling me to really tell you that you can feel when things are right or things are off. And so really trust in that this feels right. I'm being guided. I'm trusting my intuition. I'm going to make this happen, and let the angels clear the path for you. So it's basically building on those positive experiences that you are going to continue to create. And then what it does is it stops taking away the indecisiveness. You've got to be able to try. You don't have to be able to. That's the wrong wording. I really suggest that let the angels help you with little steps of really showing you that they can help you to trust in your intuitive. And those little steps will really start to build a momentum that will take away the indecisiveness. I know I'm getting very wordy on all this. Sam, did I make sense to you, so that I hope sure I make sense to Audrey?
Yes, certainly. Yes, completely. Don't worry.
Because I'm getting all this channeled stuff.
Well, as I'm listening to you, one of the things I just wanted to came up for me is that there is somebody significant in your background that has told you previously, something that you don't really want to hear and isn't necessarily the truth about you. It's not your truth. And I think that is the indecisiveness. I think really hone in on who you truly are and how you truly feel, and not trying to be what somebody else thinks you should be and thinks how, and how you should feel.
And
so authenticity.
I'm on virtual screen, so you guys can't see this, but I actually did pull a card for you, Audrey, and it's Speak Your Truth card.
There you go.
I did pull one card before they started channeling all that stuff. So the affirmation with this card is, I value and expect and accept. So I value and accept speaking my truth and let go of expectations now. So really be gentle, more gentle on yourself. Trust these little steps that the angels are going to build your confidence, build your intuitive confidence. That's what I really get, that they really would like to assist you with. And then you'll start to be much more clearer on your decisions. Okay, that was a long feedback. And we quickly, we're down to like getting to the end of the show already. So Sam, we have Serena from Edmonton. Could you please pull her a card?
Yes, there you go. Jumped out. Oh, we've had this one before. Shield your aura. So we talk about, our aura, and this is, and again, it's just come through there again, that feeling of gratitude and appreciation for everything that is happening and the people that are around us, and have that to fill our aura so that we're coming from that love space. But it's so important, we do all this hard work to put out there, goodness, those good vibes, those good feelings, and that being our aura. If there's somebody there who is wanting to dampen that in any way, it's going to undo all that darn hard work that you've done. So really needing to protect it. And this is Archangel Metatron, and he says that you are sensitive. The energy field or the aura around you magnifies your experience and attracts vibration, which can lead either to a sense of energy or tiredness. It is essential to keep your aura clear and light and at full capacity to experience relationships in their highest good. So beautiful messaging, something again I think that is necessary for all of us. But for sure, Serena, you are a sensitive soul, very likely an empath. You might start your day thinking, yay, this is going to be fantastic. And you've got this great aura. And then something will cross your path and you will feel it. Somebody else's energy or somebody else's behavior. And then your aura, will start to fade a little bit. So what you really need to do is learn how to protect that. And Cindy has taught us all to put up our rainbow shield. And the stone here that is rainbow fluorite. And, as I say, maybe, can you just quickly mention the rainbow shield, Cindy?
Well, we're getting.
Are we okay? 7:53.
Low time. Just main thing is ask your angels, please place the rainbow shield. Okay. And if you're have never heard about the rainbow shield, and you would like to know more, reach out to me. So Cindy at cindysmithaep.com. Please email me and I'll send you a chapter from my book that talks about the shield.
Beautiful.
So that makes it easy on us, right, Sam? So yeah. Just reach out.
Absolutely.
And there's a couple things that we want to close the show with, but thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for following us. Thank you for making this an amazing experience from all of us, Sam, Deb, Nola, and myself for 2022. And our producer, Jessica, has pulled 2 names, and we will have Lizeth, you have pulled, you've received a 30-minute reading from me. So this will be a great time for you and I to connect with each other. I will send you a link to book that. And Serena from Edmonton, you have one with Sam, a 30-minute session. So please reach out to Sam. How does Serena contact you, Sam?
Absolutely, do that. Sam at Sambell Inspired. Shoot me an email or even just put a message in the chat in Facebook if you're watching this live. And we always welcome feedback in there. And I don't know about you, Cindy, but I usually tend to go in there and answer any questions that anybody poses as well. But yeah,
I haven't been very good at that, Sam. So I'm glad you have been. Thank you. I know Jessica makes sure if I need to do something with our producer. Thank you, Jessica. So quickly, as I said, all 4 of the hosts of the Angel Empowerment Show, we are in gratitude. We're sending love and light to everyone for the Christmas season. And watch for the Motivation for Change workshop that I will be making live this week. We'll post it on social media and it'll be on my website. And we have on December 26th, with this Boxing Day, we've pre-recorded a show, and many people sent out and asked to have a card pull for the pre-recorded show. So it's a whole hour of angel card readings, and you might definitely be on there. So because we did a whole hour of reading, so an amazing show to listen to. So make sure it will go up on the 26th. It will be in our feeds and on the Transformational Talk Radio. Otherwise, we will be back live January 2nd. And that one is really going to be focused on that motivation for change, because I'm going to really dive in a little more around some of the tools that I'm teaching and doing in that workshop that's coming up. So anything you want to add as we're closing, Sam?
No, I'm just excited for the workshop because I'm going to be there.
I know, because you won. That's for receiving. So thank you to all our followers and our listeners. We love doing this show, and we look forward to really helping you manifest and create all that you desire in the future. So bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Angel Empowerment Show from I Can't to I Can with your host, Cindy Smith, and co-host. Learn to empower you with angelic guidance every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. It's easy to tap into your divine self and trust in your angelic guidance. Let Cindy and co-hosts give you a loving push to explore your potential. For more information, go to cindysmithaep.com. That's cindysmithaep.com.